instead. Even more aggressiveness on their side.
More
you pair that up with the possible Fatal Links. I mean, they have big... We saw the possibilities of them wanting the big Wombo combos. They still have that. We're talking Throne of Ruin, Tech Charge, Fatal Links, every bit of crowd control that you could want.
And this would make playing something a lot like the Fredrin or the Boxer difficult. You don't have any more of those as an option. If you play the Hayabusa, you risk getting invaded constantly by the Grok Valentina and then the Alice coming out of the lane, whichever side that's on in the jungle. I think they have to double down on just the Joy. Even the Joy will struggle. Ignite might have just crawled back for a reverse sweep. Okay, at least they still get the Harley. And then the Uranus that we expected earlier for the Uranus-Alice matchup.
And it's a strong matchup. I mean, that's a strong team.
Yeah.
But are they hampered by anything? Do you feel that there's still an edge that Ignite Gaming can get?
I don't know, how do we feel about Hayabusa for Ignite here?
Not bad actually.
Honestly.
Yeah. It evens things out. This makes it really demanding for Boyd though, like to answer Rainday's question. The Valentina and everything mentioned also. Ooh, and Lancelot.
Wow.
That's another unique
Add some
hero.
unique picks, baby.
Yeah, Lancelot making a comeback here. Yeah, the Lancelot into the Harley, of course. That was one of the answers. Not gonna lie, Ignite might have actually crawled back for this.
They feel good. They look confident.
Yeah.
See Troll there bouncing up and down.
I'm feeling a little bit more Ignite here, but it's more a question of how the Alice and Uranus handle their game in the map.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, MENA, Team Falcons, and Ignite Gaming in their final game of a best of 3. One team going on to continue their dream for an MSC championship. One team going home. Let's send it back to your casters, Mirgita, to finish it off.
Hey, thank you so much, panel. It is Mirgita, the combo right now, to bring you this elimination match. Earlier, there were a few lives still, you know? It was one game after another. It was the equalization, but now it's the climax. One team's gotta go. The other team's gotta make it past this stage. IG or Falcons MENA.
Yep, and it's going to be very devastating for Falcons MENA if it is indeed true, because the panel are starting to feel like IG might have actually found a way to get that reverse sweep because this draft, because of the nature of this draft, which is looking to favor them in a lot of aspects, Mirko.
I love the Lancelot pick, man. When you are not comfortable on the Fanny, Ling and Hirara is banned away from you. You got to find some creative moves, man. And Falcons MENA are really trying to choke Kelvin's hero pool down with the Harley pick as well. They denied everything away from him, so it only makes sense that he goes into the next best thing, which is probably a Lancelot. Yeah, like a lot of people were thinking Hayabusa maybe. We saw what the Yisun Shin is able to do both times. 0% win rate right now on the MSC stage.
Cool though. CS went pull yourself together too on the Melissa. So I feel like they're also starting to just anticipate the amount of pressure that they'll have to break free from. In terms of Falcons MENA's lineup, that's a lot of stuns, honestly, that could just go for you. And it's not just stuns, honestly, that you have to worry about. I think one of the differences between the Melissa games we've seen earlier and this that we're seeing now is that there's just really so much burst that's directed towards you. So I feel like so much attention will be put towards the bottom lane. And even the matchup, it's already established and put there to manage and deal with the Melissa overall. So Falcons MENA, I think that's one of the ways they're really planning to go around this game, at least in the early stages.
XP crap battle though, it will be Sanji who picks it up. That means tempo for Falcons MENA. Troll in the mid lane against Roy. That's Boyan as well.
Flicker already burned by the mid duo for IG. So this is a pretty great start for Falcons MENA, honestly. Sanji all alone, already being enough to zone out multiple members. Throne of Ruin from Diablo doesn't connect, and now Stroll's gonna go back in. Cuffin gets the last hit on the objective, whereas Sanji's just trying to go in for the chase. Kelvin might survive this deadly magic though. And so IG don't lose out on much, but they don't get the objective.
And it's Falcons MENA with a very similar start to Game 1 and Game 2, despite having a completely different composition, right? Game 1, Game 2 was all about the objectives with the utility jungles, Barats and Akai respectively. Now with the Harley, it's still control over it. The team just knows They got that muscle memory on how to play the first neutral objective. Sanji with the instant prio after securing XP grab. Boyet though on the Harley. Something we did get to see in the wildcard as well. Now really abusing the fact that he can actually walk up and invade, unlike on the Akai.
Ooh, he gets trapped here, but will use the deadly magic on Diablo. Doesn't want to stay there and just fall down without getting anything. And now the bad execution! He goes back with a space escape, but Jay was there. He was ready to answer back.
What a catch, the wall placed by Jay, and then the tech charge. A big swing with a concussive blast, yeah. At least he was fast enough to clear the jungle this time, right? Unlike the Akai, but it's just unlucky because Jay was able to catch him on his tracks back into his own jungle. So IG able to find something back. That is a fatal links on Jay.
On Jay. I
With a flicker too.
Yeah, that's a key word. It's on Jay, so that's big info for IG. They know that the Fatal Links and both the Flicker are down for Troll, so for this upcoming fight, there might be a bit more leeway for them to just move around and establish their presence. And again, they're on the Lancelot too, so I feel like they should be a bit more confident in terms of just picking up these objectives and fighting for it. But let's see how it goes with Falcons MENA at this point. Despite what happened just now, I feel like they will be getting the Fatal Link soon too. And they pretty much set up for this. Look at just how Sanji has been cutting the waves in the base of IG.
Classic Sanji. He was trying to do this on the Paquito, but he got punished for it now on the Uranus. Perfect time to do it. Sano, though, waiting in the bush on the clit.
Yeah, Troll is just walking through everyone, and it's not looking good. IG are just really going to take this objective. Tech charge doesn't connect onto anyone. There goes the Throne of Ruin, but now they find three. But the counter setup from Roy all over again, but the damage, it seems to be working out for Team Falcons MENA. Boyet, as well as Sano, seem a bit too reliable as CS is the next target. It's a double kill for Sanji.
Big win for Falcons MENA. For the first time, it's IG were actually able to get the neutral objective, but Falcons MENA take the fight. They even take the orange. No, Kelvin's still able to secure it, but Sanji's going to walk down on him.
Yeah, and it's very fast conversion. They don't want to waste time. Now they finally will take that tier 1 in mid, and even that tier 1 down bottom. Kelvin is not having a great time though. He is not really taking his very own jungle camps.
And it's the same story in the early game. Falcons MENA are just a better team at converting on objectives and playing around these team fights early. It's just somehow in that game number 2, they completely forgot about their win conditions and they played around IG's win con of just sticking together, which is something that IG can still do right now with the Alice and the Grok. But it's something that Falcons MENA will definitely be eyeing out for this time around, right?
Yep.
Fool me once. Wait, hold on, Troll.
Okay, gonna spot out CS, forcing out to go away. The ultimate already casted 2 for Cuffin, but do they use the Fatal Links? No, it's actually IG using it first, and there goes the counter.
Oh my
but
God.
CS, he's just dealing the free hits. They're actually able to find Cuffin in the process, and it's just the mid lanes traded out.
It's a 1-for-1 that's actually... Oh, if Sano gets caught by the wall there, then it won't be bad for Falcons MENA. It won't be good for Falcons MENA, but still pretty good trade for them. Kelvin doing a good job here. Counter jungling and invading whenever he gets the opportunity to, right?
Yeah.
It's the only way right now to keep that gold lead from getting too crazy.
It's exactly the same. It's almost exactly the same from what happened and transpired in game number 2, where it's Falcons MENA taking charge and then IG just forced to find trades, mostly through Kelvin and his presence across the map, and the fact that there's also an Alice, so I cannot but think that IG are just really waiting out for CS maybe.
Troll?
But Troll decides to go in. That's 2 tanky members standing in front of him. They're not gonna go for the setup just yet, but yeah, if there's anything I really want to see change for IG, and if they're waiting for that timers, hopefully CS doesn't really panic click on buttons. I think we saw it a couple times even in game number 2, and even just now the go away being forced out quite early. Because Eman, you saw him earlier. That was such a patient way of playing the Melissa. So Falcons MENA, now that they're in this lead, IG have to be very particular with timings.
Here's the thing with Melissa, right? It's like, all right, it's a great pick. You can play around it. You can farm and just scale all game long until you get your power spike. But it requires a team to play around you. I mean, that's the thing that IG, if you don't, haven't been doing in the early game. They haven't been playing towards this Melissa. CS has kind of been an independent Melissa all throughout this game, unlike Vitality when they played it with Eman. So, again, for IG, it's all about playing with your winning condition, right? With the Valentina Alice and Brock, it really is a composition to just enable Melissa, CS on the Melissa. Kelvin can do his own thing in the back, but everybody else needs to peel for CS.
Because honestly, even if you hand over, let's say, the Fatal Links to Roy, that works too. If you're just really planning to play around CS, setting up for CS, and you have multiple ways to just catch these opponents because they're not on Purifies. Diablo used the Throne of Ruin right there. So they will not have it for a while.
Yeah, they still want to defend this? Okay, gets away with the blink. Why did they use the Throne of Ruin there?
It was in a bush, so maybe they were considering going for an engage, but it was just troll that they saw, so maybe they'd rather not, because you never really know if there was anyone else from Team Falcons MENA just waiting to follow up and go in for the bait. So IG, I think it's true enough. They're really being careful about this. They're playing from behind. This is nothing new to them, but we have an objective of coming, so they can't afford to lose out on more.
And look at the way Falcons MENA this time have been able to manage the wave up top, far lane control as they play this Lord Dance. And this time, Sanji won't be making the same mistakes as that game number 2. He won't overstay in that side lane to get picked off. He's on a Uranus as well, has a flicker. So if he gets picked off now, that's on him.
Yeah. He is just going to stick with the team. He is going to go for the zone, and they have enough info on where IG currently are, but it's Jay and Diablo waiting for a potential entrance? Looking for an angle.
It's a 3-level lead between Sanji and Diablo. Sanji's been cutting these waves, and Diablo hasn't really been farming up. That wave up top is still looking good for Falcons MENA.
I think there's too much pressure on Diablo to set things up for his team. It's almost as if he barely could split up his attention between farming and just finding the right entries. But speaking of entries, it's actually Falcons MENA who go in first. CS doesn't get caught though. Jay already looking very, very low. Sano with the reposition, actually popping the immortality. Now they lose one. Jay is down for IG. They lose one of their engages.
And now it's up to Sanji to actually just... Diablo?
Oh, Diablo goes right in. Even after they just lost a member, they find Coven in the process. I think that's going to be a trade they will settle for. And now CS looking at a target for Sanji. Kelvin trying to hold the objective, but IG are low.
Seal.
They don't have full HP. Now it's Joe just going to go for the charge, and the Diablo looking like the next target. Sano picks up the kill. And Falcons have this Lord all to themselves.
All that time used by Falcons MENA to bait IG into the skirmish while the wave was pushing up top. That's a free tier 2 as Kelvin desperately tries to go in. Fatal Links!
Gets caught. Thorn grows, tries to immune himself. And the Phantom Execution Retry steals away the objective from Falcons MENA in exchange of Jay.
Ignite Gaming has to get Kelvin. Book him a chiropractor session, man, because Kelvin's been winning these retries. He's been constantly carrying this team on their back, on his back, even yesterday in the loss. What a steal again to save the game, to delay it even further. Even last game on the Hirara, you know, a real, oh God, yeah. Valid crash out in the back rooms there for Falcons MENA.
Yep.
But Kelvin, even earlier in game number 2 on the Hirara, constantly farming, invading the jungle, keeping that goal lead from getting too crazy. Now he has a path to get that lead on Falcons MENA. He's the only member on the team who's ahead.
He's ahead of Boyet, and Boyet, by the way, used the Retribution earlier too. It was just much more accurate for Kelvin in that particular instance, which gave them at least a bit more room to breathe. And not Falcons MENA just knocking on their base or potentially taking out some holy shields and base turrets here and there. So they're keeping it close, but this is still a very significant lead in the hands of Falcons MENA in all lanes specifically. And on top of the fact that, again, Diablo, he's still on a level gap against Sanji. So you see how IG are just forced to play together, and Falcons, I feel, are taking advantage of that. You see it in the way they're starting to manage the waves a bit more.
So for IG, it's about clearing. Last time I saw Lancelot and the Melissa on the same team, it don't matter how many Lords you get, they'll still be able to come back somehow with hero plays. And so far, we've been seeing exactly that. CS managing the waves, Kelvin making those hero plays happen for the team. And Falcons MENA desperately looking for the closeout.
How do we get to that point? Earlier, it felt like there were a couple times they forced it too, so they probably learned from that. They don't want to risk it too much. against this composition from IG, where you could just expect multiple layers of counter engage to come in. Just a single mistake is what it takes for IG to potentially turn things around, I feel. Because again, it's also been Roy holding on to the Fatal Links. You also have to consider the fact that Jay might go in for a tech charge, and that CS is gradually scaling up. But Jay and Roy...
God, Boyan, they know where he's at.
Oh, Boyan! Space escape out of there! And now they have to deal with the waves up top as IG scramble to get away because Falcons MENA are going in for the chase troll. Diablo going in as well. They find multiple members from IG! And that was the moment they've been waiting for. Boyan going in, trying to go for CS. The flickers from Saji, a triple for Sado! And a potential wipeout coming through. There you have it! Falcons MENA! They take out every single member of IG!
The moment Troll stops trolling, he gets a massive set. IG, they thought they had Boyan, but Boyan was playing a game. He knew where IG were. He reacted to it. Falcons MENA are gonna move over as they eliminate IG from MSC and EWC 2026.
They found the closing angle they struggled to achieve in game number 2. And that was off of a smart play from Boyan. Such